So politics is never far from the top of the agenda, is it at the moment, be it in Washington or here at the meeting in New Orleans. So it gives me great pleasure to be joined now by Mina Hanna and Gregory Mack to talk about just that. Gentlemen, welcome. Thank you both very much indeed for joining us today, appreciate that. So Greg, these are obviously very political times that we live in. Give us a little bit of an insight, if you will, as to what your office is doing at the moment to help physics and science in general.
Sure. So the APS Office of Public Affairs, we're the policy and advocacy arm of APS. So we keep track of what's happening with the White House and Capitol Hill and monitor issues that might be affecting the physics community, such as things involving research funding, education, energy, the environment, national security. And whenever we see things that we might need to be acting on, then we make sure we keep in contact with congressional offices that are concerned with those things. And if we need to be speaking out as a voice for the physics community and saying that these are our priorities and we need to be addressing these, then we go and talk with those offices and also involve APS members to come to those meetings and show that their constituents actually care about these things and try to get them to realize that these issues are important for us and for others in the scientific community as well.
Well, that's a really important point, isn't it? And there are thousands of your members clearly here at the conference this week, and physics and science in general needs champions, in Congress. So how important is it that members engage?
It's extremely important that members engage, because we need to make sure that people in Congress know that their constituents care about science, and therefore they should care about science too. So the more that we can have that voice be amplified from the physics community, the more that the senators and representatives will actually see that these are important issues. And we hope to be able to sway more to become champions of science by having people speak out and voice their concerns.
This is exactly what you did, isn't it, Mina?
Exactly. So what happened was that I had a number of concerns about the Competes Act, and what I did exactly was to reach out to the Office of Public Affairs, and I did essentially ask them, how can I help? How can I advocate for their cause? How can I let my representative or my senator know about the issues that I'm concerned about in the bill? And the Office of Public Affairs have been, working with them has been an absolutely great experience. We worked together on writing an op-ed, and the op-ed I essentially listed my concerns about the provision of the bill, and I did put them, and we actually reached out to the Houston Chronicle. It was published there, and we eventually reached out also to the staff of Congressman Lamar Smith, and we did ask for a meeting to discuss my concerns, and we had a very, very productive meeting, and we did really, I believe that we did really convey that the physics community is really concerned about these sort of things, and we really do support them.
And that's testimony that this can actually be done, isn't it? It's not just words. You can actually reach out and make a difference.
Absolutely. I really believe so, and I really believe that we were effective. I think APS is one of the professional societies that really champion the cause of science on multiple fronts. Funding, for example, infrastructure, and the ability of scientists in America to really do research to support the innovation and competitiveness and the entire research and scientific enterprise of the United States.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. We really appreciate it, and best of luck with it all.
Thank you very much.